How did we end up in a throuple with our best friend and her man?
Okay, so it started off with
So you haven't even spoken to him
not
since
since
May.
September.
Jesus. How does that make you feel?
It kills me. I miss them so much.
What would happen at the end? Like when he got done, what would happen? Like would he just get up and
Walk out the room,
what would you be doing?
crying afterwards. If she sees us, I don't even apologize for this. We did have sex without her knowing a whole bunch of times.
So you did. So you
Yeah,
did.
I'm not even sorry about that.
How long into you staying there did that start? Okay, so you do Clapper.
I do.
Okay, do you want to shout out your Clapper channel? Or?
Stifler's mom.
Shout out to American Pie. Shout out to that classic movie. Stifler's mom. You look like Stifler's mom too. What's up, YouTube? Make sure that you click the notification bell. We're going to be going live in 2024. And don't forget to tap in with my Instagram at Marcus the Interviewer. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with the special guys. So you guys know, a lot of people contact me. Most of the time I don't really come to do the interviews, but every now and again I do. That's how you guys end up meeting Sunny. And so here we have a young lady that interviewed me about a pretty crazy story involving her being in a throuple with her and her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend. And so long story short, you had some crazy stuff that you wanted to tell me about that. So I'm here to hear it. And so how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. We're hanging in there.
Hanging in there, all right? Hanging in there.
Trying to stay positive.
Okay. And so we're here in basically Douglasville, okay? It's about 20, 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. And so how did you end up here?
Well, started in New Jersey, worked my way down Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama. Last night I got a ride out here to Douglasville.
From who?
A friend that I met online.
A male friend?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I do live streaming on Meet Me. I have a community on there where we try to keep it all positive vibes. I've been telling my story on Meet Me for the last month and a half, just the throuple thing.
Yeah, so
to show the real life of a throuple.
Okay. Yeah, so let's jump into that. So,
all right.
So you are you currently still in a throuple or
No,
okay? So no longer in a throuple.
Single as single can be.
Single as a dollar bill. All right. So as far as it goes, so how did we end up in a throuple with our best friend and her man?
Okay. So it started off with I used to be her boss when we worked together at Dollar General.
Okay. So and first of all, what are the races of everybody? So obviously you're white.
They're white as well.
Okay, so they're white as well. Okay.
Yes.
So okay, you was her boss at the Dollar General.
Mm-hmm. And I was in a relationship with someone else.
Okay.
First day we hit it off great. We were friends, She needed food for her kids. I was like, no problem. She came over, gave her food. We started talking, exchanged snaps, phone numbers, stuff like that you kind of need for work anyway. And then it kind of led to her asking me if I wanted to have fun with her and her old man. And I'm
so
not
fun
like
meaning
that.
like I guess
sexual fun.
Okay, sexual fun. Were you guys like into like were you weed smokers? Were you drinkers? Did you do any other stuff?
I mean, we smoke weed here and there, drink here and there. Nothing major.
None of the cocaine or meth or nothing like that. Okay.
No.
So she and how long was this between when y'all met and when she invited you to have fun?
Probably within like the first week or two.
Okay, so she was like, "Hey, you come and have fun with me and my guy."
Oh,
and
yeah.
what was your response?
I'm taken. I can't. I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't. When I'm with someone, I'm with someone. That's it.
Right.
So she still persisted with it. And then probably about a month or so into our friendship, I had left the man that I was with. I had a conversation with her old man because I was.
So hold on, why did you leave the guy that you was with?
So I had a feeling that he was cheating on me, and that he was using drugs.
What drugs?
Meth.
Okay.
And I don't want that life.
How long had you been with him?
At that point, 5-6 months.
Okay, so not even a year.
So it wasn't like a serious,
right.
but it was serious enough that we lived together.
Okay, so y'all were living together.
Mm-hmm.
You discovered that he was doing meth, possibly, and cheating.
Right.
Did you find out that he was cheating, or you just suspected?
I had my Like, I can go off of what I saw in the house. Like, stuff would be rearranged that my stuff would be in the house, but it would be hidden. There was a wet spot in our bed one night when I got home from work. I used to be pretty close with the cops there because they would help me at Dollar General when I'd close up.
Mm-hmm.
And they would be like, "Oh, I didn't know you were at work. There's mad cars at your house. Do you know if he's partying?" And I was like, "I don't know. News to me." So it kind of all just kind of trickled into each other.
So you say there was a wet spot in the bed?
Yeah.
Like, did you just see it or did you feel it? Like,
oh, I saw it because I pulled the covers down and it was.
And so I'm imagining, did you never used to leave wet spots or nothing like that?
I mean, yeah, I did, but it's funny when there shouldn't be a wet spot when I didn't have
right,
sex for like 2 days with them.
Okay, I was about to say, how do you know
like,
it wasn't your wet spot?
Like, if it was mine, I'd own up to it.
Okay,
mine.
Gotcha. So
okay,
so and how come y'all hadn't had sex for a couple days?
Because I was working nonstop.
Okay, so you was going, and you came home, found a wet spot, all that type of stuff, decided to break up with him. And so what?
It was more of, I had a conversation with her old man one day.
Okay. About
how I was feeling, and I needed a kind of like a man's point of view on things.
Okay.
And he broke it down to me, and he was like, you should just leave him for your own being, do good for you, nothing about bringing me into the relationship.
Right.
That never crossed any conversation in that. It was really just a friend to a friend.
Okay.
So about maybe a week later, I'd called them and said, "Hey, I'm leaving him. I need a place to stay for the night until I can figure stuff out." They opened their door for me. I went there. A couple days later, it was, "You want to have a relationship with us?" And I was like,
"So hold on. Let's not skip any details." Okay. So hold on. So you got there that first night.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Nothing.
So they didn't try to?
No, I sat there.
Because they had already been, you say they were already persistent.
Right, but I sat there and I cried. And, like, they're human beings.
Okay, so you was in your feelings, you was in your emotions.
Yeah, and, like, they didn't take advantage.
Take it, right, I get that. Okay.
But a couple of days later, they were like, "Hey, do you want to try this?" And we all sat down at the table. We came up with rules. We came up with things.
What were the rules? What were the things?
So she had, her number one rule was me and him couldn't have sex without her there.
Okay.
Like, they could have their one-on-one time, but if it was me, it was just group play.
Okay.
So that was okay at first, you know what I mean? Like, let's try it out, see how it goes. It was like a week trial with those rules. Every time me and him were left alone, she would snap both of us, like, constantly, every 5 seconds, just to see if we were doing anything, and nothing happened. Then...
So let me ask. So, when y'all did do it, because, I've interviewed throuple before, right? When y'all did do it, was it like a full threesome where you were having sex with both him and her? Or was it like he was just having sex with both of y'all?
It was all three of us together, but whenever he would touch me, she would get angry and try to, like, stop it right away. Like, she wanted this whole thing, but when
so what did she want from it? Like, in other words,
she wanted me just to play with her.
Okay, so she just wanted the girl on girl stuff and didn't want her guy.
She wanted him to the side.
Okay.
But
so did y'all do girl on girl stuff? Both of y'all? Y'all both like kind of would do oral on each other and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all
like me and her still had fun.
Right.
But me and him weren't allowed to have fun by ourselves.
Right, but even when y'all were all together,
oh yeah,
he would he would
try to touch me and be with me.
Would he be allowed to, like, give you some dick, basically?
If he didn't care what she said at that time.
Okay, so if he wasn't really giving a F.
Yeah, then, okay. It was, I could get it. Like, at one point I went probably like 2 weeks without sex from him.
How did that make you feel?
Kind of like I was just a object, a toy, a play item for her. Like,
did you really enjoy the sex with him?
With him, yeah. But, yeah. But with her, she made it very uneasy. Like, okay. It was always, even in her presence without having sex, it was very uneasy, like, awkward, walking on eggshells. It was, if I looked at him just to be like, "Hey, guess what?" It was daggers at me. Like, her eyes were just like, Don't you talk to my man.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I got my 2 girls outside. I know from having girls how territorial women are. Yeah. Like, okay? Even over their daddy sometimes. Yeah, no, okay?
I get it. And we tried to work with her on it. Like, hey, is there anything...
So how long after y'all started doing it to when, you know, I mean, I'm hearing that it kind of was always left, like sounds like from the time it started, but how long until things got bad? You know, like how long from when y'all did it to when things got like pretty bad?
So it was in November when we started all of this.
Okay.
The week of, I left Christmas, let's see, Christmas Eve was my last night there.
So November 1st to November 30th?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking like when in November, like?
I want to say like the middle
It's like about
November.
a month and a half or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I decided to pack my stuff and head out because things were getting so bad, you know.
Well, let's talk about that, right? So because you were saying about how you know, were letting people into the life of a throuple. Mm-hmm. Tell us what were some of the things that people may want to know about being in a throuple?
Well, first off, if it's going to work and you want it to work, you all have to be on the same page, same chapter, almost the same sentence with everything. You've really got to sit down at your meetings once a week and discuss what you like, what you don't like. You really have to all be in it together and understand that, you know, when the man and the woman in the main relationship come in and grab a girlfriend or a boyfriend, like, that person that comes into the relationship has to understand their spot. And I did. I knew I wasn't number one. I knew I was second. I knew she came first with everything. How
was that lived experience for you?
Meaning that most of my life I've always been second best. It wasn't nothing new to me.
So we're gonna tap into that. Okay, so all right. So long story short, you know, and I mean, I'm gonna ask, right? Mm-hmm. Was the sex banging?
Yeah.
Okay, so nice fireworks sex, you know what I'm saying, between the three of y'all.
Even when, if she sees us, I don't even apologize for this. We did have sex without her knowing a whole bunch of times.
So you did? So you did?
I'm not even sorry about that.
How long into you staying there did that start? Because you was only there for a month and a half. So
no, I was there for a month and a half. I left for Jersey. He came to New Jersey and tracked me down and brought me back. Okay,
so right, I get that, but I'm talking about for the time that you was there for the month and a half. How long until between when you first did it to when y'all kind of broke the rules?
Probably a week and a half before I left.
So, okay, so y'all didn't break the rules right away.
No.
Okay, so what made y'all decide to cross that boundary?
Oh, fuck. That day that it happened, he came home on lunch break, and I was doing dishes. I was in my feels. I was kind of in my emotions that day.
About what?
Still going through the feels of the breakup with Corey.
Okay.
You know, it kind of hurts still.
I get it. Is Corey black? Mm-mm. Okay, I was just Corey. Okay, go ahead.
No.
I got a lot of friends named Corey.
So do I. So I was doing dishes. He came up behind me and grabbed me by the hips, and I kind of dropped the dishes and turned around, and right there on the kitchen counter, it kind of happened.
How was that?
You ever feel that, like, ecstasy moment with someone where you're on cloud nine?
I know what you're talking about.
I've never had that with anyone before.
Oh, wow. So you blew your mind with that one.
It did.
So do you think you had been, like, really waiting for that? Like, you was waiting for him to come take it?
No.
So you don't think your subconscious was, like, waiting for him to come just take it?
No, because, like, I've always looked at sex as sex. My level of intimacy is deep conversation at a table or in bed at pillow talk.
I get it.
That's my level of intimacy.
Right.
When you could take a piece of my mind with you and it's there forever.
Yeah, most women are mental when it comes to their attraction and stuff like that, sexual attraction, things like that.
It's just something about that deep conversation.
Yeah.
Is sex, I can lay down, excuse my language, I can lay down with someone, fuck them, and get up with no feelings.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that moment, it was, I think I love him.
Wow.
Like that feeling of...
Yeah. Just kind of washed over you type deal.
Yeah. I've never had that feeling with anyone, not even with my ex-husband. And I was with my ex-husband for 16, 17 years total.
Wow.
I'd never had that feeling with him. But with him, it was...
This guy, the throuple guy, how old was how old are you, by the way?
I'm 33. I'm about to be 34.
Okay. You say you was married to your husband for 16 years?
I was with him from 7th, 8th grade.
Okay,
married for 10.
Married for 10. Okay, I was about to say, y'all got married in 8th grade?
No.
Okay, I get it though.
But, you know, we were childhood sweethearts, but we were doomed to fail from the day one, so.
Why?
He had a thing with keeping his dick in his pants.
I get it.
He drank a lot of abuse happened.
Okay.
So
do you have kids?
I do.
How many?
3.
3? How old?
12, 9, and 4. 2
12, 9,
girls
and
and
4.
a boy.
Okay, who do they live with?
So they live with their father right now. Went through.
Is that the ex-husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Went through a rough patch in life, kind of like this, but I was a little better off then. Best thing to do for them for stability and a roof over their head, and just for them all around being well. They went back to their father. They hated it. They didn't want to go, but for them, they had to.
Well, I mean, and so, like, you know, when was the last time you saw him?
May.
May?
I've been trying to get a hold of their father to talk to them.
Where do they live?
North Carolina. I can't be too close to him with the fact that he's very possessive over what was his. I know if I live in a driving radius of him, I'll probably end up dead.
The fact that you haven't seen them since May, do you think that they miss you?
Oh, they do. I know they do. And I try to call. He won't answer the phone.
So you haven't even spoken to him
Not
since
since September.
Jesus. How does that make you feel?
It kills me. I miss them so much. And I've called and tried to text him when I went up to Jersey to see if I could just swing by to see him and hug him. And he didn't respond for a couple of days and said, "Oh, I just got your message," and I was already out of the area. You know, I miss them terribly.
I get it. So I'm gonna ask, right? I'm gonna ask a couple tougher questions.
Okay.
You know, when they kind of look back, right, on some of this stuff, and you know, maybe they find this video on YouTube, or you know, maybe some of the meat stuff or whatever.
I've never hid anything from my kids.
Well, what do you think their thoughts are going to be when they, you know, see that during this time when you wasn't in their life for one reason or another, they're kids, so they don't necessarily have the perspective that adults do. What do you think they're going to be thinking when they see that, you know, you was running around with the throuple and kind of doing all that stuff and enjoying this sex life and all this stuff, but then, you know, your kids are out of touch with you, kind of, you know, maybe feel abandoned, you know? One
day they will understand that I was trying to reach out. You know, I was, and I still am.
Well, I mean, you know, if you could say something to them now, right? We're talking to the older versions of them. They happen to come across this video many years down the road. You may have already straightened it out with them, but just in case, go ahead and tell them what the deal is or how you feel.
That I've tried so hard to get a hold of you and see you, and I miss you guys terribly, and I wish I could be a part of your life right now.
What do you think their thoughts are right now? Do you think that they're thinking that you don't love them, or do you think that they're thinking
they know I love them very much?
So what do you think their thoughts are? Like, why do you think, in their head, what do you think the narrative that they're putting together as to why you haven't seen them since May?
My two oldest know that I can't be around their father. They've seen a lot. The one reason why I decided to pack things and leave with the kids originally was my oldest came to me one morning when we were making coffee before school. She said, "Why do you let Daddy yell at you? Why do you let Daddy treat you the way he does? Why does Daddy yell at me? Why does Daddy always drink?" And I knew I couldn't hide it no more from him. And then about 2 days later, I had a bloodhound puppy, and he came barging out of the bedroom door, and he grabbed the puppy by the neck and started squeezing her neck, and her eyes were starting to pop out of her eye sockets. And then from that moment, I left. The next day, I had the lawyer draw up a letter. I took the kids.
Hold on real quick. Let me, I'm sorry. All right, I just had to check real quick. I thought I heard something out there.
You're fine. I had the lawyer draw up a letter stating that I was leaving and that we'll be back eventually, but we were leaving for safety purposes. And then I left North Carolina, headed to Tennessee to his parents' house where they opened their doors to us. And then, you know, I was a single mom of 3 kids, 1 income. He didn't help not one bit the whole time I was gone. And then I got on rough patches, you know.
So what are these rough patches? Let's not skip past those, right? What?
I lost my job, about to be homeless.
How did you lose your job?
So my son, when he was 3, he got bit by my ex-in-law's dogs in his face. And I had to take off of work for medical. You know, I rushed into the hospital that night. The next morning, I didn't go to work. Called them, told them. They said, "All right, we understand. Then, he had staples in his face, stitches. We had eye appointments because we thought the dog got his eye. So I was constantly taking off of work for about 2 weeks for that.
I get it, and you got fired eventually.
Yeah, which is understandable. I don't hold that against them.
Right. As an employee, you got to be
absolutely.
consistent,
But my mom's status came first.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I want to talk about, because you moved in with his parents. Where were your parents at? Are they still alive?
My mom has passed. I had my second oldest daughter May 1st of 2014. And then my mom passed May 8th of 2014.
Ooh, a week later.
The day she was supposed to meet her, she passed.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. Okay. And what about your dad?
Well, my biological father, there's 3 possibilities. All 3 of them are dead.
Oh, wow.
So I have a stepdad. He's a wonderful man. He stepped up from the time I was about 3 or 4. Still in my life. He's not talking to me right now because of the whole throuple thing.
What was his?
He thinks it was stupid. And I get other people's point of views. I'm that type of person that'll try almost anything once. So now that I've done this and this is the outcome, I'll never do it again.
So you'll never do a throuple again?
No. Nope, you couldn't pay me enough money in the world.
Let me ask you something real quick, right? Hearing how your childhood was and everything, I'm just gonna ask. Did anything like ever happen to you when you were younger, like any type of sexual thing?
Yeah.
What was it that happened?
I was molested at a young age by one of my mom's friends.
What age was that?
I was 5 and 6.
And like, what level of molestation are we talking about?
Touching, like under the pants.
Okay, so touching your private areas.
Yeah, my mom and my stepdad, they were big partiers growing up.
Mm-hmm.
We always had
different people in the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a close family friend.
Whew. When that happened, did you ever tell anybody?
I told one lady about it. She was part of the MC that was around, and she kind of just shook it off like, oh, it's whatever. And I never talked about it until a couple months ago with her other half. I opened up to him and told him about it. And now.
So you never told anybody during childhood that happened?
Just that one lady.
Just the one lady? You never told your mom?
Nope, she wouldn't believe me.
What effect do you think that had on you growing up?
Up until about 5 years ago, a lot.
What effect?
I was afraid to get close to people, afraid to let them in. It was always hard to be intimate.
It was always hard to be intimate?
Sexually. I had a hard time with letting a man touch me down there. When I was 9 and 10, my uncle me.
What?
Yeah, didn't tell nobody about that either.
Whoa. Your uncle meaning your brother's? Your dad's brother or your
mom's brother.
Your mom's brother?
Yeah.
He R-word, like all the way penetration. Did it just happen once?
No.
How many times did it happen?
It went on for about a year, 2 years maybe.
What? Ooh.
He was always the first one to want to babysit when we were sick from school.
That's what I was about to say. Like, how did this occur? I always ask people, like, how did this happen? Like, what? How was he even able to be in the room with you by yourself that often?
When we were sick from school, or when we had parties, he was there partying with my mom. I grew up in a very party house.
I get it. Yeah, we know about that.
The door was always going.
Yeah, revolving door, people in and out, a lot of partying going on.
We had a lot of MCs,
When you're saying MCs,
motorcycle clubs.
Okay, motorcycle clubs. Yeah. Okay.
But so they weren't the ones that were doing the bad. If they would have found out now that I know that
I'm
an adult, they would have taken care of
yeah.
that. I don't make bad on the MC. I think most of them are wonderful people.
So this was your uncle that did that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask a couple of questions just because I'd be curious about this stuff.
Absolutely.
So obviously it sounds like you didn't tell anybody when that was happening. Why do you think in your head you didn't tell anybody?
Because of the lifestyle we live, nobody would have cared.
Okay, I get that.
My mom wouldn't have cared. She treated me like a stepchild, like you hear in fiction books,
Yeah, I know. Listen,
my mom would beat me over the littlest thing.
We have more mama trauma on this channel than anything else. More
Yeah.
mama trauma than anything else.
Yeah.
And so we definitely understand that. At a certain point, when it had happened enough times, in like, would you just like kind of just like be
Numb.
and just kind of giving into it, like, all right, well,
Yeah.
it's just gonna happen, like no resistance type deal?
I already knew. I would try to go to school sick, throwing up and all, because I knew it would happen, because he'd be the first one there to babysit. So
When these things would occur, like, what would happen at the end? Like, when he got done, what would happen? Like, would he just get up and
walk out the room,
what would you be doing?
crying afterwards. Or towards the end, it was just he would get up and walk out the door, and I'd just go in the bathroom, take a shower, go about my day.
Whew. And so I'm imagining this was your first time being penetrated. So he like took your hymen and everything, like you was bleeding probably that first time.
Yeah, he told me that, now I'm a woman.
And this went on for almost 2 years, it sounds like.
Yeah. And I think that's why I accepted a lot that my ex-husband did.
How did these encounters with your uncle end up stopping?
Honestly, I don't quite remember why. Honestly, I don't.
And you never told anybody?
I know he did it to like my other cousins and stuff. I know he did that to them too. So I don't know if he was just on to the next one because I was too old.
Wow.
But
So when you look back on it, do you kind of wish that you would have told someone?
yeah,
What effect do you think that would have had?
I don't think I'd be the way I am today with certain things.
What way?
I
What
think
way
I
is
would
that?
have gotten the counseling I needed as a kid.
Right.
If I would have just opened my mouth. But living the lifestyle we were in, there wasn't really too many people I could trust, I thought.
Okay, I definitely understand that. Definitely get that. So let's circle back around to, the whole throuple thing. So eventually we find ourselves in this situation where, we're down bad and, we get into this throuple. Sounds like it was a whirlwind, okay?
Yeah.
And so how did things end officially? Like so you were saying that you ended up in New Jersey and he chased you there? Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so on the 22nd or the 23rd, I had packed my stuff. We got onto a fight. She said she didn't want me to leave. He didn't want me to leave, but I figured that was what was best. Cool things off. Even if I left for a day or two and I came back, just to cool things off.
What was the fight about that y'all had got into?
Honestly, it was her cheating on him with someone outside of our throuple.
What?
Yeah, with the vendor.
She gave the vendor some booty?
That was the story she said, and then she changed and said she lied because she just wanted me out of the throuple and she thought that would make it happen.
Why did she think that her telling that she got some extra D would make the guy...
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know her thought process on that.
Okay. So do you think she was lying or not?
No, I know she was telling the truth because I went to work. We worked for the same company in the same district.
Right.
I asked questions to all my vendors. And I came up with...
Wow, so she got her cheeks clapped by the vendor while y'all was in the throuple. And so you ended up leaving and you say you went back to Jersey.
I took a trip to Jersey.
With who?
Well, so I was in Alabama, taking a back road to go get my pup here.
Okay.
At a friend's house. And I was driving, doing about anywhere between 80 and 90 on a back road. I know, very unsafe. And I hit a deer. Totaled my car.
Oh, shit.
My stepdad came all the way from New Jersey with a tow truck, well, a tow dolly. Picked me and my car up with the dog.
Oh,
towed
wow.
me back up there.
Wow.
On Christmas.
Oh, your stepdad loves you. He loves you. He's got your back.
He does.
Shout out to stepdad, man.
Yes, shout out to all the stepdads that step up. You guys are very important.
And so he came and he brought you back up to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like the fella came up there
and within a week, he convinced her to let him use her car to come get me and bring me home.
Okay.
He tracked me down in Jersey. He showed up at the front door, surprised me. He said, "Come home." And I got in the car, He said, "This is just."
How did you feel when you saw him at the front door?
An overwhelming feeling of, oh my God, you came when no one else would.
How did that make you feel?
Like I was loved.
Okay. So he came and got you. You felt good. You felt great. You got back, and then what happened?
Rules were in place, we were just friends, stuff like that, and yeah, that's what it was. We were just supposed to be friends.
Who? You and who?
All of us.
Okay.
That's how it was supposed to be.
But what happened?
Probably within a week time, he told her I was his girlfriend, and he was.
Were y'all having sex at that point? Let's keep it a buck.
Trying to think. I do believe we had sex once before.
Okay.
He told her.
Okay.
That we were boyfriend. She still doesn't know that we were having sex like that.
Okay. So she's
she's
just finding this out. She's just finding this out.
I do not apologize. I'm not even sorry.
Why are you not sorry?
Because it was an invite, pretty much.
Okay. So she kind of invited you in there, and things went how they went.
Yeah, and then after he had said, "She's my girlfriend. You are my fiance. This is how it's going to be."
Who was the girlfriend? Who was the fiance?
I was the girlfriend.
Okay, she was the fiance. Okay.
And that's how it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like it, but she came, I guess, to terms with it. But then she started throwing a lot of shade my way. Like, when I came back from Jersey, I wasn't allowed to sleep in their bed, which is understandable. We did not have a couch at the time. They had just gotten rid of their old couch and waiting on a new one to come.
Mm-hmm.
I was sleeping on the floor with all our dogs.
Mm.
So the blanket I slept on was the dog's blanket. I slept with 4 dogs.
Why did you accept that?
Where else was I going to sleep?
Back up in stepdad's in New Jersey.
If I had a way up there, I probably would have made it there.
Okay. All right. I get that. And so how did things eventually... Because it sounds like at one point he chose you, you said, and then, but then he...
Okay. Even though I was his girlfriend and that was his fiance, me and him clicked as best friends.
Okay.
I mean, or at least I thought we were almost identical in just different bodies, different genders.
Right, so y'all were vibing.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, we were having sex without her knowing. He got the bright idea that we should start doing Clapper.
Clapper? What's that?
It's like the spicy side of TikTok where you can go on Do Not Disturb and have sex on screen and get paid.
Okay, so almost like an OnlyFans type deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did
learn something new every day. I never heard of that, Clapper.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all started doing that?
Yeah, I still actually do it. I was just chit-chatting with people on there when you pulled up.
Okay, so you do Clapper?
I do.
Okay, do you want to shout out your Clapper channel? Or?
Stifler's mom.
Shout out to American Pie. Shout out to that classic movie. Stifler's mom. You look like Stifler's mom, too. Oh, my God. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, wow.
Or it's either Stifler's mom or Stifler's mom's one.
Okay, so Stifler's mom and Stifler's mom one.
There's a picture of me.
Okay, so I'm sure there'll be a couple guys that's gonna go check that out.
I mean, check it out. It's always a good time.
Okay, so y'all ended up doing tag, then what happened?
We decided to make it almost like a franchise thing. It was me, him, and her, and our name on there was Turkey Sandwich.
Okay.
Can't forget it, you know what I mean? Me and her were the slices of bread, and he was the meat.
I get it.
Turkey Sandwich.
I get it.
That account will be disabled soon, so don't even look for it. But, within 2 days, we had over 2,000 followers. Like, it was a thing. Like, the throuple life is a thing.
Okay, so wait, so how much money did y'all make from it?
I mean, we were on screen for maybe a total, actual, sexual things, total of maybe 6 hours. We made over $700.
Okay, all right. So,
it paid my bills. You know what I mean?
Right. But so, just for the audience, because what ended up happening is, basically, she ended up kind of being with the boyfriend, and then he cut up some clothes and did some stuff, and then ended up going to jail.
It was
let's kind of fast forward to that. So
so last Saturday, before Valentine's Day, I woke up to him kind of like in a mood. a bad mood. I don't know the whole gist of what happened in the morning before she left for work. Apparently, she gave him a kiss and said, everything's gonna be okay, baby. I love you. We'll talk when we get home. It's nothing bad. And within the 40-minute drive to her job, she had snapped him saying, you guys need to pack your shit and leave. That's from my understanding. I don't actually know what was actually said. That's what he was said to me.
I get it, but it's for the sake of, let's...
So we packed our stuff.
Okay.
I packed my stuff, he packed his stuff. I made sure he had all of his stuff that he needed. I don't have a lot of stuff. We grabbed my dog and his dog, and we loaded up the Jeep. And he decided before we left that he was going to tear up every single article of clothing she owned, underwear, socks, everything.
So that was the part. That was the part to where that was just a total bad decision.
Yeah, I let him have his tantrum. I gave him a look. He saw the look. He kind of was just like, and continued slicing clothes. And then he got the scissors out and started cutting. And so y'all left, and then what ended up happening? On top of that, he broke his TV. He stomped his TV in half. He took all her shampoos, conditioners,
Why didn't he just take his
makeup. Because he couldn't fit in the Jeep, and he would be damned if she could watch it.
Okay. So he was being petty and, broke all stuff, whatever. And
we all be petty in our own ways, but he was also drinking on top of that. So he took it to the next level.
I get it. So he did the most.
Yeah.
And you guys left. And then
left.
somehow you say you came back?
We drove by once.
Why?
After that, and she was there with someone else. And then he drove back around. He took the long way all the way around. Came back to the house. And I kept telling him, turn around. Don't do it. Just turn around. We don't need to talk to her. Just turn around. And he was blowing her phone up, trying to call her, talk to her. We drove by the house, and Fort Payne PD was there. They turned around and followed us, pulled him over. He got out with his hands up because he was like, I'm already going to jail. I'll see you later. And he got charged with domestic violence. And he got charged with a DUI.
Okay. So how long was he in jail for?
So he also had a warrant out of Cherokee County for another domestic violence dispute that happened years prior to that with his baby mama, apparently.
Okay.
So he went to Fort Payne on at least a 24-hour hold. If he could make bond at that point, he could be released to Cherokee County. I went online. We have this very strong online community with each other. They support us. We support them. Shout out to OG Hennessy. He cashed out me the money to bond him out.
How much money was that?
At first, he cashed out me $300, and then OG found out I was sleeping in the car, and he cashed out me another $200 to get a hotel room.
Oh wow, okay.
OG is the real OG, man.
Hennessy. Yeah.
I mean, he's on Meet Me. If y'all see him, give him love and support. He's an amazing person.
Okay, so he gave you the money to bail him out. What happened when you bailed him out?
I had to wait 24 hours to bail him out. I bailed him out. I bonded him out. I paid the money for that. He got transported to Cherokee County, like, right after I signed papers. They took him out into the cop car, transported him over to Cherokee County. He got there. I put money on the phone so we could talk. And I slept in the Walmart parking lot right down the street from the county jail every night.
How long? How many nights?
Let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon he got released.
Okay, so he was in there he was in the other jail, then he went to Cherokee. He was there for about 4 nights.
Yep.
And so what ended up happening when he got out?
Talked to him nonstop. Every time he could, he called me. I made it a point because I made a promise to his son that he would always hear from his daddy every night. As long as I was there, he would hear from his daddy. Even before he went to jail, I made that promise to his little boy. I made sure I had his phone there and my phone on speaker, and they talked every fucking night.
Okay.
Every night, because that little boy deserves to hear his daddy every night to say goodnight. Yeah.
So what ended up happening? Like you?
He got out Valentine's Day. We spent the last of the money that we had on a hotel room for the night, if you know what I mean. We ended up at his mama's house. That morning.
So if you know what I mean, meaning what?
Oh, we had fun.
Oh, okay. Had a lot of good sex, right?
Not a lot, but good sex.
Okay.
We were both tired from our week.
Situations.
Yeah.
Right.
That morning after I fell asleep, around 4 a.m, I fell asleep. He woke me up probably around 5:30 and said, I need to go find her. Are you coming with me? Got in the car with him. I didn't agree, but he said he needed the closure to find out if she was still around or if she went back to Coleman.
Okay.
We drove around from, we'll say, 6 a.m. to about 2 in the afternoon trying to find her.
Okay.
He called her ex-husband to see if she was okay, co-workers, we stopped at her job, like, stalker status. We drove by the old house, everything.
How did that make you feel while he was doing it?
I was angry, because when he was in jail, he asked me to marry him. He even went to the extent of asking his son if his son approved of me marrying his dad, and his son cried tears of joy. Yes, please marry them. Yes.
Okay.
He got on his hands and knees before I walked out that door that night and said, I'm begging you to marry my dad, please.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. And so, I mean, so you was feeling at this point betrayed, it sounds like.
Just hurt, not betrayed. I knew he needed closure because he's that type of person.
Well, so what ended up happening? Y'all found her, I guess, at some point?
No. She eventually unblocked him off of everything and reached out.
How much longer? How much?
Later that night, after we got back to his mama's house.
Okay, so you reached out.
And then they spent I think it was a total of 14 hours on the phone talking.
14 hours straight?
They fell asleep. He was in the Jeep, fell asleep talking to her on the phone, came inside, laid in his mama's bed on the phone with her while I sat there and watched it.
How did that make you feel?
Like I was second best. Like I didn't matter. I was a pawn in his game to get what he wanted while he was in jail.
So what ended up happening?
He went and met up with her, told me to get my stuff out of the Jeep, that she was coming home, because, you know, what I have already surrendered for him, like gave up for him, wasn't enough. Apparently she needed to do all of that and also give her kids up to be with him, and she did it.
She gave her kids up?
Yep, she gave her kids
so what
up.
This guy got like some super dick or something? Like
No. Shame on her for giving her kids up that way. She gave her kids up for a fucking piece of dick.
How many kids does she have?
Two
Jesus
beautiful
Christ.
Two beautiful
How
daughters.
old?
9 and 6, and they are wonderful children.
So she gave up the most to be with him, and so what ended up? So is that where we're at right now? We're basically there together.
He left me in a Dollar General parking lot in Center, and the gentleman that picked me up right before they got there. Yep, I had to pack my stuff and go.
Wow.
He took all my money that I made while he was away.
How did he take it?
He spent it on gas. He spent it on cigarettes. He spent it all within that short time period. Energy drinks. Like I had. When he got out of jail, I had $120, $130. He spent $60 on a hotel. I was okay with not getting a hotel, but he wanted to get a hotel.
Right.
I gave it to him, you know what I mean? Okay. So that, and then gas to find her that day, cigarettes, and
I get it.
drinks.
$120 evaporates pretty quick.
Definitely now, yeah.
Okay. So
now I'm homeless.
Ooh. I mean, so what is your plan?
I got on the phone with a friend that lives in Louisiana. And I can go stay with them, but I have
That's
no
a male
car.
friend or a female?
They're a married couple, but me and him go
okay.
back to kindergarten. He's from New Jersey.
I was about to say, is this about to be another throuple?
No.
Okay.
No, he was my childhood best friend. We used to run the streets together. We did our thing when we were kids. You know what I mean?
I get it. So I mean, so you have the potential to go there.
No way to get there.
Okay, so and I'm just
about
gonna
an
ask.
hour north of Louisiana, hour north of New Orleans.
How much does the what is it called? Clapper. How much do you make on that?
I have to make at least $100 to cash out.
Okay, and so how often do you get to cash out?
As long as I have $100 in there, I can cash out as much as I
Anytime?
want. Yeah.
Okay, so
but with having the gentleman that has the room, I can't technically do Clapper right now because it's his room. I don't feel right doing it with him right there. You know
what
do
you
mean?
do on Clapper? Like you just give us.
Okay, so it's kind of like this. We go back and forth. We talk with the people. They send gifts, which are like diamonds. Each gift is a different amount of diamonds. I set a goal. So I can set a goal for 1,000, 2,000.
Well, I mean, I don't want to confuse the audience, right? So as far as it goes, what I'm asking is, what are you doing on there? Like, in other words, are you doing sexual acts on there?
When I go
or
to
are
D&D, yeah, I will do sexual acts.
Well, how often is that? Is that like the main thing that happens on there, or is it mainly just you like talking and stuff like that?
Sometimes I've made goal to go into D&D, and we just sit there and we bullshit like this.
Because what I'm trying to get to is,
It's not always sexual.
well, no, I get that, but what I'm trying to get to is, what is it going to take to get you the amount of money that you need to be able to get to Louisiana? So in other words, you know, I mean, does it take you like, you know, getting naked, and do they send more stuff for that?
Oh yeah, if I went on there with just my bra on and a pair of shorts, I could probably reach goal within an hour and go to D&D and get it done.
Well, why don't you do that? This guy's been gone for an hour.
But I was waiting on you to
Okay,
get
okay, okay.
So,
So
like,
he
you know,
was-
I
okay.
just went on there to live stream and be like, hey, guys, what's up? You know, sorry I haven't been on. You know, this is my new screen. Like, you know, give them the update on some things because that community, I was the main focus on that turkey sandwich. Like, I was always on it.
Right.
She would join here and there. And
right, you're kind of the main character, so that's who they know.
Yeah,
that's who they
so
deal with. I get it.
They're starting to follow me on Stifler's mom.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get them over there.
So listen,
I
mean, on that note, tell the people how they can reach out to you on Clapper so that we can help you to get this money that you need to go to Louisiana.
So on Clapper, my screen name is Stifler's mom.
Okay.
It could be Stifler's mom or Stifler's mom 1, the number 1. I can't quite remember because there's 2 there.
It's okay. I mean, the bottom line is
Stifler's
they
mom.
can find you on Clapper. Do you have any other way people could reach out to you? Instagram, Facebook, Cash App, anything like that?
I have Cash App, which is N Van Bavel 307.
Can you spell that real quick?
Yes, N VAN BAVEL.
Okay.
307.
All right.
Instagram, it's Nicole NICHOLE Van Bavel, which is
the same way.
And in my Cash App tag. Facebook, same thing, Nicole Van Bavel.
Okay. All right. So people can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, throuple gone wrong.
Yeah.
And so you say that's an experience that you'll probably not ever do again.
No. Not probably. I will never do it again.
And so if you could say one reason, you know, just in summary version, you know, to the people, why not? Give us that reason.
Because mine was a very bad experience. It was so bad I won't do it again.
Okay. All right. Well, like I say, we really appreciate you. All right. We definitely wish you and little man who looked like he's asleep. We definitely wish y'all nothing but the best. Okay.
Thank you.
You make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
Thanks, you too.
All right.